It's time for Manchester United to turn their form around if they're aiming to finish higher in the table. The Red Devils need to take action as soon as possible. So what exactly is most crucial for them to change that could be most effective? The first thing for us to clear up is the debate about the management at the club. In my opinion, I don't think the management is the problem, and I believe that Ole is doing around the best possible job with the squad that he has at the current time. A change in management won't be able to change much at the club. There isn't much to work with, and what Ole is doing right now is what other managers would be doing too. The earliest Ole should be sacked is at the end of the season. He's only had one transfer window to work on a long-term project. It's near impossible to sack him with that being the situation. If results got too bad, then it's more understandable. However, a win against Tottenham has done him very well for now. If players that are crucially needed join in January, then this can be another factor that Ole can be assessed on. This is a clear long-term project and time is needed to bring in the right players. So who could be the ones to join in January? You've got to be realistic with what business can be made in the January transfer window. Players may not be available, and I see a maximum of 2 transfers being made. Man United need to invest in the midfield more than anywhere else on the pitch, defensively and attacking wise. So are we picking out 2 midfielders that could fill those roles? Firstly then, in defensive midfield, I've got 2 players that they could choose from. The first one being Zakaria from Borussia Mönchengladbach. It's been a brilliant start to the season for the 23-year-old, ranking 5th highest in interceptions and tackles by midfielders in the Bundesliga, as well as ranking 1st for the amount of passes blocked. This shows his top qualities when it comes to reading the game and getting stuck into the opposition. But not just that, he likes to take the ball up the pitch himself, as he ranks 2nd in the amount of dribbles completed by midfielders. He'd be able to add stability into the United squad as they add aggressiveness into the midfield, and a player who can work the ball with his feet too. Another option that comes from the Bundesliga is Conrad Lima from RB Leipzig. As we said, Zakaria is 1st for the amount of passes blocked, but Lima is just below him in 2nd with only 1 less pass blocked. He ranks 2nd in the most amount of tackles by any player in the Bundesliga. His interceptions aren't high as some other players with only 13, and this is in fact the same amount as United midfielder Fred. The standout quality with Lima is his tackling. I thought he had to be an option just because of that statistic. Any of these 2 options would be great in United's midfield. Leipzig are a selling club, so if the right offer comes in for Lima, they may let him go. However, the problem with both of them is that they may want European football. Zakaria doesn't play in the Champions League, so maybe that is the better option out the 2. At attacking midfield then, the obvious signing would be James Maddison from Leicester City. His vision to find the right pass for the forwards is up there with the best in the Premier League. He can score and assist, score from free kicks. He's an all-round top attacking player that would add so much of what is missing in the United team. But everybody says him, and I want to mention somebody different. A player that would be a risk and a bit out of the blue, very similar to Daniel James. They've seen him make an impact in this team on a cheap deal, and another player I think could be the same as him is Eberechi Eze. He's a 21-year-old attacking midfielder from QPR in the Championship, who last year proved he had something different than most of the young players in the Championship. A creative flair and an eye for goal is what he proved, and this season has already been a big improvement on the last. In 19 league games, he's been able to score 7 and assist 4 times, beating last season's record of 4 goals and 4 assists in the 42 games that he played. He averages 1.8 key passes per game, and his most standout statistic is that he tops the list for the most successful dribbles in the Championship with 60, which is double than James Maddison. Yes, he's played more and is in a different league, however, it still proves his quality. I find him to be very similar to Dele Alli when he was in the Championship. Dele scored 16 and assisted 9 with MK Dons, which led him to signing for Tottenham. Just like Dele Alli, Eze likes to score a lot from attacking midfield too, being just behind the striker and getting into the box, making himself an option for other players to target. Personally, I think he should be a no-brainer for Manchester United. Dele Alli has proven, and Daniel James is starting to prove, that players who perform in the Championship can make a difference in the Premier League. And with better players around Eze, I can see him fitting right in and being a success. But we know that United aren't great with getting transfer business done that quickly, so let's look at the team as it is now. As if the midfield wasn't weak enough, the injuries of Paul Pogba and Scott McTominay have made them even worse. Scott McTominay is a player that's grown on the United fans after getting stuck in defensively and playing some superb long balls in switch-off play situations, alongside proving to them that he's a hard worker and will fight for the team. While he was injured, United only managed to pick up 2 out of 6 points with draws to Sheffield United and Aston Villa, with the absence of McTominay playing a pivotal part in those results. He returned for the Tottenham game and helped United to a 2-1 win over Jose Mourinho's new club. Even with the new addition positions in the midfield, Scott McTominay will always be able to play a great part in this team. His work rate and passion for the club shows in his performances, and that's why the fans love him and what is needed for Ole. And obviously the other injured midfielder that we mentioned, Paul Pogba. The question about him is, does he really want to be here? He said he wanted a new challenge in the summer, he never got a move, and maybe there's a reason behind that. Was he told he could move in January when replacements come in? If United are looking to get players in for a long-term project, it doesn't seem like Pogba would fit that criteria. We know how good he can be when he's at his best, and arguably the best we've seen from Pogba in a United shirt is when Ole joined. In Ole's first 10 games in charge, Pogba scored 8 and assisted 6 times. We saw him striding into the box whenever possible and getting further up the pitch, making a positive impact, leading to goal contributions from him. If this Pogba can come back for United even before his inevitable departure, then it could help United in getting some crucial results. A player in the best form of his life right now though is Marcus Rashford. His last 7 league games have seen him score 6 and assist 2, a significant increase on what he's previously been producing. The return of Martial has helped him out a lot, as then he's been able to move back onto the left wing where he clearly performs better. Rashford in form is making life for United a lot easier right now, but Martial needs to start taking that pressure off him. For me, this is it for Martial. He either does well this season and stays, or struggles again and gets dropped for good. He'll go somewhere else and do amazingly well, but at United it isn't working for him right now. There's a video of him in the Aston Villa game which highlights his movement, or what I should really be saying is him standing still. There's no movement, it's static from Martial at the top of the pitch, and this is one factor to Man United's game that if changed would be a huge difference. Greenwood is waiting to step in. He's still only 18, but he has scored his first Premier League goal now, and it'll only take a few more of them until he's a regular like when Rashford was his age. Get involved and comment below your thoughts on what Man United need to do to get back on track. What signings would you prioritise to make in January? I recommend that you don't miss out on future videos. Subscribe to Route 1 and like the video if you did enjoy.